Hey, good morning. I'm Sharon Minchow. We have breaking news. The U.S. Supreme Court has just issued an opinion regarding Texas's new abortion law, nicknamed the Fetal Heartbeat Bill. And as they say, it's complicated. So there were two cases pending, one by the Justice Department to intervene against SB 8. The court said no to federal intervention. The second is filed by abortion providers, and in a nutshell, the High Court is kicking back a part of that suit to the lower courts, saying that clinics can sue licensing agencies, those are the state agencies that regulate the clinics trying to protect themselves from disciplinary action should they perform post-heartbeat abortions. So this is a breakdown of SB 8, abortion currently banned in Texas as early as 6 weeks into a woman's pregnancy. The law also puts enforcement into the hands of the general public. Citizens can sue abortion providers and anyone helping them to seeking civil damages of at least $10,000. The Supreme Court heard arguments in two challenges to the law. One from the Department of Justice, which argued it had the right to sue Texas over the law. The other from abortion providers, who argued the enforcement mechanism of the law violates the Constitution. Now, the court's ruling doesn't actually have an effect on Roe v. Wade. That is, of course, the landmark decision which legalized abortion in the United States. So again, important to note, today's opinion is not about the abortion aspect itself, but if you will, more about administrative aspects. We are joined now by University of Houston law professor Seth Chandler. Good morning, sir. So first big question, if you can sort of translate into layman's terms the opinion this morning.
Yeah, it is sort of a win for abortion providers and it lets them sue licensing authorities, but it doesn't give them what they really needed and wanted, which was an ability to stop the hundreds of potential lawsuits that can be brought against abortion providers anywhere in Texas. As to that, the Supreme Court said we're not interfering with state court judges or clerks, and we're certainly not going to issue an injunction against the whole world from filing these lawsuits.
Does the ruling give any indication on where the court might be headed in the Mississippi case?
Not really. I would say it's not great news for people who are pro-choice, but that was clear at the oral argument a week and a half ago that it wasn't going so well for them. But I don't think it provides any clear indication in and of itself on what's going to happen with Roe versus Wade.
Do you have any sense about whether this might give abortion providers, Planned Parenthood, enough confidence to resume those post-heartbeat abortions?
Right, and that's really the critical question. The court can say what it wants, but what really matters is what happens on the ground. You'll have to ask them, but if I were an abortion clinic, this opinion would not give me much comfort, because although I can sue and maybe get some sort of ruling against licensing providers, it doesn't give me what I really need, which is protection against numerous lawsuits where the damages can be quite large and where you can never quite win. As to that, the Supreme Court declined a request to prevent those lawsuits.
And that's sort of the novel aspect of SB 8, if you will, deputizing private citizens for enforcement. But that's still hanging out there.
That's exactly right. Although there's a Texas state court decision just issued yesterday saying that those provisions were unconstitutional under both the federal constitution and the state court constitution. That decision is certain to be appealed. And so really, I think what the net result of all of this is to shift the focus to the Texas state court system and ultimately to the Texas Supreme Court.
All right, lots more legal action to happen. Thank you very much. Seth Chandler, University of Houston law professor, thank you, sir, for joining us. We will, of course, continue our coverage of SB 8 and the Supreme Court ruling, as well as reaction on KHOU 11, on KHOU.com, and in our later newscasts.